required. He pauses, glancing at the clerk, then back at the room. We will hear from additional witnesses. And this time no one is off the table. The gallery stiffens. Christine and Janelle exchange wary looks. Mary's hands twist together in her lap, as if bracing for an unseen blow. Robyn lowers her gaze. Her tears dried, but her face hollow, like a woman who has cried herself empty. Kody sits straighter, his folder now closed, confident that everything is out. But he doesn't know, something else is waiting. The bailiff says a name, and the whole courtroom falls silent. Aurora Brown, come forward to the stand. Shock's ripple runs through the gallery. Robyn's daughter, a voice younger, gentler, but inextricably linked with the woman at the heart of it all. Robyn gasps, her hands flying up in protest. No, please, she's just a kid. The judge silences her. She is of age. She has consented to testify. She will be heard. Robyn slumps back in her chair, shaking her head, muttering no, 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 as Aurora moves deliberately to the stand. The room is quiet, broken only by her footsteps, tiny and uncertain, but ringing out more loudly than a drumbeat. She raises her hand and takes the oath, her fingers shaking, her voice no more than a breath. Say your name, the clerk instructs. Aurora Brown, she says, her voice gentle, but firm enough to be heard across the room. The prosecutor starts softly. Aurora, we realize this is hard, but can you tell the court what you know about the house, and about the secrets your mother kept? Aurora's gaze shoots to Robyn, who shakes her head wildly, mouthing don't. Aurora pauses, her lips shaking, before finally speaking. I knew about the house. The gallery is filled with gasps. Christine puts her hand on her chest. Janelle says, oh my God. Mary closes her eyes, her tears flowing again. Aurora swallows hard, her voice trembling. I knew because I was there. I went with her. She told me not to tell anyone. She said it was for us, that it was to protect us in case things went wrong with the family. She begged me not to tell anyone, not even Dad. The room erupts in whispers. The judge bangs his gavel. Order, order in this court. And this is the sort of twist that has every viewer desperately holding on. Because when a daughter verifies the secret, it isn't merely betrayal, but generational. Robyn breaks down, her body convulsing in sobs. I didn't want her dragged into this. I was trying to protect her, she wails. But her words are cut off by the judge's stern demand for quiet. The prosecutor leans forward. Aurora, did your mother ever explain to you why she kept the house a secret from the family? Aurora slowly nods, her eyes welling up with tears. She said they wouldn't get it, that they'd turn against her. That if she had the house, at least we'd never be homeless, even if everything else failed. Kody's face twists. Anger, sorrow, shock. His voice is rough when he talks, but not to Aurora. It's to Robyn. You burdened your daughter with your secret. You loaded that on her shoulders. His voice cracks. How could you? Robyn cries harder, her hands clapped over her face, but she doesn't respond. Christine whispers in Janelle's ear. This is not just betrayal. This is manipulation. She involved her children in this. Janelle's head is shaking, anger blazing in her eyes. And for that, she can't be forgiven. The judge lets out a deep breath, his pen drumming against the bench. Aurora, you are excused. She stands, her eyes shining with tears, and returns toward the gallery, where she falls into the arms of her siblings. The ensuing silence is oppressive, and this is where the audience senses the ground tilt once more. Because secrets that are passed down to the next generation are the kind that leave life scars. The judge clears his throat. This court has now heard testimony from the family members, from records, and now from the defendant's own child. But before we go towards final arguments, there is one final witness that I think we need to hear. He points to the bailiff. Another name is called David Young, financial advisor. Come to the stand. Robyn's lawyer goes pale, jumping up hastily. Your Honor, this is terribly irregular. The judge interrupts her. Irregular? Maybe. Necessary? Absolutely. We will hear him out. The doors open, and a man in a suit walks in with a briefcase. His eyes are firm, his expression calm, but there is no denying the weight of his presence. He is sworn in and sits, his briefcase set neatly on his lap. The prosecutor has no patience. Mr. Young, you were the financial advisor of Mrs. Brown for roughly 2 years, right? Yes, he answers, speaking clearly. And in that time, did she reveal all assets to you? He pauses and shakes his head. No, she very specifically told me not to reveal certain accounts to her family, no matter what. The courtroom gasps once more. Robyn cries out, her voice cracking. That's not true. He's twisting it. But Mr. Young does not blink. He opens his briefcase, producing a pile of files. I documented everything, every transfer, every directive, every discussion. It's all here. The clerk receives the papers, handing them on to the judge. The judge glances over the pages, his expression growing harder with each line. This is comprehensive, much more than has been given so far. Kody looks at Robyn, his tone low but biting. You didn't just conceal one house. You constructed a universe of deception. Robyn leans against the table, her howls loud, anguished, racking her body. Her lawyer whispers desperately, but too late, the proof is unrelenting. What we believed was the culmination of secrets is merely the start of the landslide. The judge bangs his gavel. This court is in recess. Tomorrow we will address closing arguments. But let me make one thing clear. These new developments will carry significant weight in my decision. The gavel drops, resonating like thunder. The room descends into bedlam. Reporters scrambling to phones. The gallery abuzz. Family members shocked. Christine and Janelle cling to each other's hands, their eyes open in shock. Mary sits blankly on the floor, tears falling silently. Kody collects his folder. Empty now. He glances at Robyn once more, his tone low, almost sympathetic. It didn't have to go down like this. But you made the choice. Robyn cries even harder, her shoulders convulsing, her face in her hands. Aurora sits behind her in silence, her young face smeared with tears, compelled to bear the burden of her mother's decisions. And as the courtroom clears, one thing becomes certain. The secrets are no longer secrets. They're shackles chaining them all to the ruins of what used to be a family. If the judge has already witnessed enough to destroy Robyn, what will his verdict unleash on the rest of them? The courtroom is packed, each bench occupied, each aisle filled with people shoulder to shoulder. It's spread far beyond the family now. The trial has become a phenomenon. The reporters sit waiting, pens in hand, cameras outside the courthouse doors. Everybody knows that today counts. Today, they'll get to hear the closing arguments. The judge enters, his gavel thudding against the wood as a crack of thunder. This court will come to order. We will now hear final statements before deliberation. Counsel for the plaintiff, you may proceed. Kody stands up, his folder cleared, but his determination heavier than before. His voice is firm, but under it is a tempest, every sentence charged with years of bottled fury and grief. Your Honor, he starts. This case has not been merely about figures or documents. It has not only been merely about a secret house or unreported accounts. This case has been about trust, about deceit, about a family torn apart due to falsehoods. He spins around to address the jury, his gaze running across them, then to the judge. I brought records, evidence, witnesses. You've heard the deeds read. You've learned of the secret accounts. You've heard my wives testify about betrayal. And yesterday even heard from my daughter Aurora, brought into secrets no child should ever know. Secrets that should never have been. His voice breaks, but he continues. Your Honor, when a person constructs a family, they promise something. To be honest. To be loyal. To give up. But Robyn made a different choice. She made a choice of lies. Of silence. Of self. Over others. And in that, she didn't just lie to me. She lied to every single person who ever believed her. The gallery stirs, murmurs echoing like restless wind. Christine wipes her eyes. Janelle nods grimly. Mary stays frozen, tears sliding silently down her cheeks. Kody's voice rises, trembling with conviction. This isn't just about law. It's about justice. And I'm asking this court to recognize the truth. Robyn's choices have consequences, and it's time those consequences fall where they belong. The jury sits, frozen, as the power of his words hangs heavy in the air. The judge smiles, his face impassive. Thank you, Mr. Brown, himself for the defense. You may go on. And that's the turning point for the viewers. Because now everybody asks themselves the same question. How could anyone possibly defend Robyn now? Robyn's lawyer stands up, voice sharp but tense. She smooths her jacket, steps forward and addresses the court. Your Honor, members of the jury, I want you to look beyond the agony, beyond the rage. My client is not a monster. She is not a criminal genius. She is a mother. A woman consumed by terror, by doubt, by the disintegration of a family collapsing around her. Did she err? Yes. Did she panic? Yes. But panic is not treason. And fear is not evil. And survival is not a felony. She points to Robyn, who sits white-knuckled and shaking, her tissue gripped tightly in her fist. See her. See the tears, the anguish. This is not a woman who plotted for power or greed. This is a woman who was so afraid of losing everything, who made desperate decisions in desperate moments. And desperation can be flawed. But it is human. The jury shifts uneasily. Some nod. Others look skeptical. The gallery buzzes with whispers. Divided. The lawyer continues. If you punish her, you are punishing fear itself. And who among us has not been afraid? Who among us has not made a choice, in the dark of night, that we later regret? My client is guilty of being afraid, not of being malicious. And for that, she should be shown compassion, not censure. The room divides. The air charged with tension. Because when justice and mercy meet, sparks always fly. Hint, the judge breathes slowly, his patience wearing thin. Mrs. Brown, prior to this court proceeding to deliberation, you will be given the opportunity to speak on your own behalf. Do you desire to address the court? Robyn stands unsteadily, legs shaking, voice breaking before the first word can escape her lips. Yes, Your Honor. She holds the microphone, her tears flowing profusely now. I know I've done wrong. I know I've hurt people, but I never intended to. Every decision I made in fear. Fear of losing everything. Fear of failing my children. Fear of seeing the family destroy itself, and being left with nothing. She cries, the words spilling out of her. When I purchased the house, when I transferred the money, when I sent those emails, it wasn't because I resented them. It was because I loved them too much to let them bring me down when I knew the end was near. I needed one safe haven. One. I didn't want to betray anyone. I didn't know what else to do. Her body convulses. She buries her face, her cries ringing out in the silent courtroom. The jury stands, conflicted between empathy and rage. Christine shakes her head, muttering, she still doesn't get it. Janelle tightens her fists. Mary drops her head, her tears falling silently onto her lap. Kody stands up slowly, his tone crisp but soft, slicing through the stillness like a knife. You didn't betray us, Robyn. You betrayed the concept of us. And that's something no apology can repair. And here's the beat of tension. For even as Robyn begs, the audience is certain that forgiveness is out of the question. The judge bangs his gavel. Enough. His court has heard enough crying, enough yelling, enough begging. What is important now is truth. We will deliberate, and we will render a verdict. He glares at both tables, his voice booming. But let me be clear, this trial has been out of control. If either side loses its grip again, I will not think twice about clearing this courtroom. Do I make myself clear? Both lawyers nod in silence. The judge breathes, reclining, his pen tapping lazily against the wood. The echoing sound is like the ticking of a countdown clock. The jury shifts, whispers to one another. The gallery leans in, unable to avert their eyes. The whole room is taut as a thread. The gavel thumps one last time. Court is adjourned for deliberation. The room explodes. Reporters surge out. The gallery erupts into chattering. Relatives embrace each other, or rush away weeping. Christine clasps Janelle's arm. It's nearly over, she breathes. Janelle nods her head. No, it's only just starting. Mary sits stunned, her eyes filled with tears of sorrow and disappointment, as she looks at Robyn. Kody folds up his papers, his shoulders weighed down, but his eyes refusing to bend. Robyn subsides into her chair, weeping openly, her frame shaking as if the decision had already been rendered, and yet the reality looms over them all. The verdict has not yet been rendered. The worst tempest remains in abeyance, because when the gavel does go up again, it will not only determine Robyn's destiny, it will determine the destiny of the entire family. The courtroom drains to uncomfortable silence, as the jury are led to the deliberation room. The massive wooden doors close behind them, and for the first time in days, the chamber stands empty of its focal point. No questions, no evidence, no gavel crashing the beat of fact, only waiting, and waiting in instances such as this is torture in itself. The gallery hums with soft murmurs. Christine stands against the railing, arms crossed, her eyes fastened on Robyn on the other side of the room. Janelle walks slowly back and forth, frustration evident with every raised fist. Mary sits immobile, looking at the vacant jury box, her face drained of color, her tears having long dried. Robyn huddles in the defense table, her tissue in tatters in her grasp, her shoulders shaking with muted sobs. Kody sits stiff, his jaw set, his eyes ahead, as if seeing the judge's bench will hurry the verdict along. The judge has retired to chambers, and in his wake a room full of tension remains. Every creak of wood, every rustle of paper, every suppressed cough reverberates like thunder. Minutes go by, then an hour, then two. The gallery becomes restless, the whispers escalating into gossip. What do you think they're going to do? One reporter asks another. Is this deceit, or merely betrayal? Another shakes his head. Doesn't matter, the harm is done. And viewers sit forward, because silence is the sound of thunder, when everybody knows judgment is imminent. Christine then speaks. She looks at Janelle, her tone biting. Do you think she'll ever own up to it? Do you think she'll take any of this before the verdict? Janelle's head shakes, her tone icy. No, Robyn never owns up. She cries. She pleads. She doesn't confess. Mary talks softly, almost muttering. Perhaps she can't. Perhaps if she says it loud, it will happen, and she'd sooner drown than deal with that. Robyn overhears them. She raises her streaked face, her voice ragged, breaking. You don't understand. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I was trying to save something. Anything. Christine jerks back. Save yourself. Perhaps. Not us. The words cut sharper than paper, and Robyn flinches like she's been struck. Her attorney places a hand on her shoulder, whispering, Stay quiet, please. Let me handle it. But Robyn shakes him off, her chest heaving. Across the aisle, Kody finally speaks, his voice low but hard. Secrets don't save families, Robyn, they kill them. The room stills, his words hang heavy, undeniable. Back doors creak open. Bailiff advances. All rise. The room leaps to its feet, pounding hearts, bated breath. The judge appears, his face etched in granite, his gavel clasped. Behind him the jury march back in, their faces somber, unreadable. They take their seats, one by one, the gravity of their verdict hanging over the room, like a thundercloud. The judge clears his throat. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict? The foreperson rises, a piece of paper shaking minimally in her hand. We have your honor. The paper is handed to the clerk, then to the judge. He reads it in silence, his eyes narrowing, his jaw clenching, his breathing slow and measured. The silence prolongs, agonizing. He sits back at last, his voice slices through the room. In the case of hidden assets, hidden properties, and intentional dishonesty, the jury finds. He pauses, suspending the moment, the whole room on the brink of breakdown, that the defendant Mrs. Robyn Brown did intentionally hide assets from the family estate. The gallery erupts, gasps, shouts, sobs. The room erupts into chaos. Christine covers her mouth, weeping uncontrollably. Janelle screams a sharp cry, half relief, half rage. Mary buries her head, speechless as though she knew this all along. Robyn slumps into her chair, her crying turning to screams. No, no, you don't understand. It wasn't like that, please. Her lawyer attempts to soothe her, but she writhes, crying uncontrollably. Kody shuts his eyes, breathing deeply, his jaw shaking. For the first time in years, he experiences a conflicting wave of vindication and sorrow, two feelings pulling him in opposite directions. The judge bangs his gavel. Order! Order! Gradually the uproar subsides. the room returning to a tense silence. And this is the punch to the gut moment, the sort of decision that doesn't merely close a case, it explodes a family. The judge goes on. This court will now consider sentencing, along with monetary penalties. Hiding assets also has the penalty of trust broken irreparably. And I shall make this clear. This courtroom has witnessed deceit, tears, and apology. But what is most important here is truth. And the truth is evident. He leans forward, his eyes locked on Robyn, his voice like thunder. You constructed a life on lies, and now those lies have fallen. This is your fault, and yours alone. Robyn wails harder, her tears ringing off the marble walls. I didn't mean to. I didn't want this, she begs. But the words ring hollow in the face of the judgment. Christine leans into Janelle and says, quietly, it's over. Janelle shakes her head. No, this is only the beginning of the fall. Mary speaks up at last, her voice low, quivering. Families don't die in an hour, they die in secrets, in silence, one secret buried at a time. And today, we saw the final gasp. The judge thumps his gavel again. This court will adjourn. Sentencing will be handed down tomorrow. The room erupts once again. Reporters pushing for the doors. The gallery humming. Family members stumbling. Christine clutches Janelle's hand, her tears flowing. Mary stands up slowly, her legs weighed down, her face ashen. Kody picks up his belongings, his gaze never wavering from Robyn, who breaks down in her lawyer's arms, defeated and shattered. And when the doors are shut, the question hangs in the air like smoke, unsaid but heavy in every single heart. What does justice look like if it rips a family in two? What do you believe? Should Robyn be given the full sentence for her secrets, or should the judge have mercy? Leave a comment below. Your opinion counts in this courtroom. The courtroom is weighed down heavier than ever, its quietness a palpable living thing that bears down upon each chest. No one now dares to whisper. No one dares to breathe. The jury has given their verdict, and it is blunt. Robyn Brown is guilty of willfully hiding assets from the family trust. But the trial is far from finished. Sentencing awaits, and everyone knows that this is when the judge will determine her destiny. The gavel bangs once, hard and final. This court will now impose sentencing, the judge announces, his words ringing off the marble walls. His face is stone hard, his eyes burning with a rage that even he appears just barely able to keep in check. And I want every single individual in this room to know, this is no longer about crying. This is no longer about apologies. This is about the truth, and the consequences of betraying it. Robyn sits trembling at the defense table, her tissue shredded in her hands, her body shaking with uncontrollable sobs. Her attorney whispers urgently, but she doesn't respond. Her eyes are fixed on the bench, wide and terrified, as though waiting for lightning to strike. Kody sits across from her, his face unreadable. He doesn't look at her. He doesn't look at the judge. He stares straight ahead, as if locking his gaze on some distant horizon. Christine leans forward in the gallery, her breath caught in her throat. Janelle grips the railing so tightly her knuckles whiten. Mary sits still, her eyes fixed on the judge, her tears silent but unstoppable. The judge leans forward, his voice a hammer. Mrs. Brown, your petitions have been heard by this court. Your tears have been witnessed by this court. But this court has witnessed what you have done. Intentional, repetitive, and purposeful. You constructed walls when windows should have been built. You seeded secrets when trust should have been sown. And because of that, there will be repercussions. The gallery stirs. Reporters scribbling furiously. Cameras flash faintly from the hall outside. The air feels like it's vibrating with tension. And this is where the audience leans closer. Because everyone knows the judge's next words could break more than one life. The judge bangs his hand on the bench. You did not make one error. You made several. You did not panic even once. You planned. You plotted. And worst of all, you dragged your children into your lie. That, Mrs. Brown, is unconscionable. Robyn cries harder, shaking her head, her words spilling out in a fractured appeal. Please, Your Honor, I didn't mean to. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I was trying to protect them, not destroy them. The judge interrupts her, his voice thunderous. Protection? Do not dignify this court with that term. You did not protect. You lied. You manipulated. You betrayed the people you promised to love. Protection is sacrifice. What you did was selfishness masquerading as fear. The gallery gasps. Christine covers her mouth. Janelle mumbles. He's right. Mary closes her eyes, her tears falling onto her lap. Kody finally utters a word, his tone low but cutting. Your Honor, I don't seek vengeance. I merely request that the truth have significance. If lies are not punished, then trust is worthless. The judge nods, his eyes never wavering from Robyn. And trust, once shattered, is the most difficult to repair. He stands, his gavel floating above his bench. Thus this court sentences Mrs. Robyn Brown to. The words hang in the air, the pause stretching longer, unbearable. Robyn clutches her chest, gasping, whispering, please, please, please. The gallery holds its breath. Christine's eyes widen. Janelle grips Mary's hand. Kody doesn't move. And here is the heartbeat moment. The silence before the thunder. The cliff edge before the fall. The judge raises his gavel higher. His voice rattles the walls. When he at last utters a word. This court sentences you to total financial forfeiture of the hidden assets, exclusion from the shared estate, and restitution to whom you defrauded. As of now, you are divested of all right to the family trust. The room explodes. Shouts, gasps, sobs fill the air. Christine weeps openly, her shaking body racked with agony. Janelle makes a small audible gasp, and clutches at the railing, as if it will keep her from falling. Mary hides her face in her hands, her body shaking silently with sobs. Robyn shrieks, her shout raw, animal. No, you can't have it all. Please, I'll lose everything. She leans against her lawyer, sobbing, her tears wetting his sleeve. The judge bangs his gavel once more, his anger boiling over. Silence. You lost everything the instant you opted for dishonesty. This court merely formalized it. Robyn's weeping reverberates off the walls, shrill, relentless. Her body convulses, as if she is being ripped asunder internally. Kody shuts his eyes, one tear trickling down his cheek. He mutters softly, his voice almost inaudible. It's done. And that is where the audience feels the brunt. Because punishment can deliver justice, but does not mend the hurts it leaves in its wake. The judge breathes out, his tired face softening, his voice gentler now. This court is adjourned. Let us all remember. Truth is not a suggestion, it is a duty. The gavel comes down for the final time, the crack of it ringing through every heart in the room. The gallery explodes again. Journalists burst through the doors. Christine hugs Janelle, crying. Mary sits numbly, her tears unending. Kody packs his belongings, his hands shaking, his shoulders weighed down. Robyn breaks down on the floor, her cries like a siren, her wails lost in the commotion. She is no longer a wife, no longer a companion. She is the woman who lost everything. And as the courtroom clears, there's one truth left, weighty and irrefutable. This family will never be the same. Did justice get served? Or did the judge overstep in taking everything away from Robyn? Comment below. Your opinion counts. The doors of the courtroom burst open, and the thick silence of justice is swept away by pandemonium. Journalists descend like vultures, microphones and cameras thrust forward, their questions called out in competition with each other. Robyn, did you think justice was equitable? Kody, do you think the family will heal? Christine, do you think this puts an end to the Brown dynasty? Flashbulbs flash. Voices conflict, and the steps of the courthouse become a war zone of sound. The family appears piece by piece, each with their own version of the tempest. Christine goes out first, tears streaming down her face, but chin still high. She holds a folder to her chest, like armor. Janelle is next, her expression stony, her jaw clenched, fury simmering just below the surface. Mary goes out slowly, eyes red, body weighed down, as if each step takes more than she can give. Then Kody walks away, head up, jaw set. The cameras flash more brightly. The crowd presses forward, calling out his name. He doesn't respond. His eyes are fixed straight ahead, cold, inscrutable. And then Robyn appears, protected by her lawyer. Her cries are more audible now, desperate, her scream hoarse voice from screaming. She buries her face in shaking hands, her body crouched under the burden of what she has lost. Cameras consume her brokenness. Microphones quaff her howls. The family stops on the steps of the courthouse, the reporters gathering like a tide. The bailiffs create a wall, but the questions continue to hail. Christine turns on her heel, snapping at a reporter. You think this is a game? You think our pain is entertainment? Her voice breaks, her crying blinding her. And for an instant, even the reporters are silent. And this is where the audience leans forward. Because pain turned outward is sharper than any verdict. Janelle grips Christine's arm, pulling her closer. Let them talk, she mutters. What matters is what happens next. Christine shakes her head. What happens next? Janelle, there's nothing left. We're broken. And now the whole world knows it. Mary finally speaks. Her voice low, shaking. Perhaps the world needed to know. Perhaps the truth had to be hauled out into the daylight for us to be able to see what we really are. Her words pierce through them. And they all stand in silence for a moment, looking at her. Kody advances, his tone icy. The truth was there the whole time. We just didn't want to see it. We allowed secrets to eat away at us from the inside. And now all that remains is the rot. Robyn raises her head, weeping, her voice a desperate cry. Stop it. Stop saying it like I'm the only one. You think I'm the only one with a secret? You think I'm the only liar? The words stop everyone in their tracks. Reporters push forward, pens scratching, cameras clicking more rapidly. Christine's eyes open wide. Janelle tenses. Mary turns her head away, face blanched. Kody rotates slowly, eyes squinting. What are you saying, Robyn? Her wails contort into a harsh laugh, broken and ragged. You stand there like a saint, like you've never lied, like you've never kept a secret. But you're not any better than me, Kody. None of you are. The press gallery springs out at her once more, shouts rising over each other. What lies? What secrets? Is there more? Christine takes a step forward, her voice cutting. Don't you dare, Robyn. Don't you dare drag us down with you. Robyn shakes her head furiously, hair spilling into her face. Drag you down? You were already down. You all just acted better than me. The family bursts into muttering, accusations hurled under their breath, their tenuous cohesion shattering on the courthouse steps. Journalists feed off it, their cameras snapping faster, their microphones pushed closer, because one verdict might be final. But secrets don't end with a gavel. Janelle finally loses it, her voice slicing through the melee. Enough. This isn't about the cameras. This isn't about the world. This is about us. And if there are more secrets, then perhaps it's time we haul them all out. All of them. Christine looks at her. Don't fuel her. She's playing games. But Mary's voice trembles, soft but unnerving. What if she's not? What if there really is more? What if we've all been living in lies? Not just hers. The crowd gasps. Reporters yell. Kody's face sets, his voice deadly low. If you know something, Robyn, say it now. Robyn raises her head, her tears forgotten, her face set in a fury, her voice shaking but cutting. You want the truth, Kody? You want it all? Well, fine. Let's share your secrets with them. The crowd erupts. The reporters yell more loudly. Christine's eyes go wide with shock. Janelle's mouth falls open. Mary's head shakes in denial, murmuring, no, not that. Kody's face goes white, his mask finally cracking. He backs away a step, his breath hitched, his eyes scanning the press, the family, the cameras flashing. And at that moment, the tempest changes. The court might have convicted Robyn, but now the world waits to see what she is going to unleash. Do you believe Robyn truly has dirt on Kody? Or is this just her final attempt to drag him down with her? Comment below. Your opinion matters. The steps of the courthouse are pandemonium. Journalists swarm in closer, microphones pushed forward, cameras snapping so rapidly, it seems lightning has fallen onto the stone stairs. The family is stuck in a tableau of shock. Christine's mouth agape, Janelle with anger blazing in her eyes, Mary mouthing, no, not this. Kody standing rigid, pale, the heavy reality of Robyn's words bearing down on him like a knife. Robyn's voice breaks, but she gets out the words, shaking with rage and fear. You want to discuss lies, Kody? You want to stand there and act righteous? Then let's tell them all about your secrets. The crowd pushes forward, reporters calling out questions. What secrets? Is there more secret money? Was Kody in on it? Kody raises his hand to cover the sound, but his words shake when he speaks. She's bluffing. She's desperate. Don't listen to her. But Robyn laughs. A jagged, fractured sound that slices the air like broken glass. Bluffing? No, Kody. You're above the law. Think you're untouchable. But I know what really goes on. I lived with you. I saw what you kept hidden. And if I fall, you're going down too. The gallery gasps. Christine spins back at him, her voice icy and cutting. Is she telling the truth? What is she saying? Janelle takes a step forward, her voice shaking with anger. Tell me, Kody. Don't make me hear it from her. Mary simply shakes her head, murmuring, I knew it. I knew there was more. The reporters push forward, their questions tumbling over each other, cameras flashing. The courthouse steps are no longer stone, they're a stage. And Kody is under the glare of the most searing light of his life. And this is the moment when the audience can't help but watch. Because the hunter is now the hunted. Robyn dabs at tears, growing louder with every sentence. You want to discuss betrayal, secrecy? Then let's speak about how you laundered funds too. Let's speak about the money you stashed prior to blaming me. Let's speak about the deals you cut without us being aware. Kody's face is clenched, fists curled at his sides. That's a lie. But Robyn is shaking her head wildly. No, it isn't. I've seen the accounts. I've seen the transfers. You lied to us. Just like I lied. You went to court and yelled about betrayal. But you were guilty too. You just hid it better. The journalists break out. The rustle of pens on paper, microphones pushed in, cameras snapping like a machine gun. Christine gasps, her voice shattering. Kody, is that true? He turns to her, his voice shrilling. No, don't you see what she's doing? She's trying to pull all of us down with her. But then Janelle's voice comes through, cold as steel. Then prove it. Show us. Because right now, you look just like her. The family stands stock still, the crowd surging forward, air heavy with accusation. And here's the tension spike. Because once doubt creeps into the room, it spreads like fire. Kody shakes his head, breaking out into a sob. I defended this family. All I did was for us. Don't you ever put me in the same sentence as her? Robyn gestures to him, her fingers shaking, but her voice firm now, growing stronger. You're no different, Kody. You wanted to dictate the narrative. You wanted to be the hero, but you kept things back too. You said I was selfish, but you were keeping yourself safe the entire time. Christine's tears overflow, her voice shaking. Please just tell us it isn't true. Tell us you didn't. But Kody does not respond. He has more to say than words. His jaw clenches, fists tighten, but his eyes flash. For an instant, and the family notices. Doubt, guilt, fear. The reporters notice it too. Is that confirmation? Mr. Brown, did you conceal assets too? Were you both lying to the family? The cameras flash quicker. The noise grows louder. The disorder becomes intolerable. And this is where the audience sees the ground crumble. For sometimes silence screams more loudly than a denial. Mary speaks for the first time, her tone gentle but biting. All along we thought it was only Robyn, but perhaps the entire truth is uglier. Perhaps both of you betrayed us. Janelle's voice trembles with anger. If you've been dishonest with us, Kody, you're just as bad as she is. Christine advances, her voice cutting. So what is it? Are you guilty as well? Or are you simply too scared to confess?